Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Beyond Alphabets. Today, I'm going to deal with Julius Caesar, Act 5, Scene 1 and 2. So, let's get started. So, this scene, that is Scene 1, it is happening on the plains of Philippi. As you can see, it's on the plains of Philippi. There, both the troops, led by Octavius, Antony, and also Brutus and Cassius, they arrive. In the beginning, they start bickering, they start taunting each other, and then finally they decide to battle. So let's see what happens. Octavius. Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here. Answering, before we do demand of them. So in the opening scene, we see that Octavius is talking to Antony and he says, it seems our hopes are realized, answered, means realized. You said that enemy would not come down, but remain on the hills and upper regions. But it proves not so, but it proves you're wrong. Their battles, their troops are at hand, are nearby. They mean to warn us at Philippi here. I think they have decided to challenge us, warn us, challenge us at Philippi here. Answering, before we do demand of them, even before we have challenged them, it seems they have accepted our challenge. Antony, tut, I'm in their bosoms and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this phase to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But it is not so. So Antony replies, tut, it does not matter. I'm in their bosoms and I know wherefore they do it. I am in their bosoms in the sense I know fully what is there in their hearts. And I know why they are doing this. And I know they would actually want to be elsewhere, but they are forced to come down and put up an external show of courage. Such a show is full of fear from within. They are totally scared, but they are just putting up an acting courageous. That's when a messenger enters with some message. Enter a messenger. Messenger. Prepare you generals, the enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately. So messenger is informing them, requesting them or asking them to prepare as the enemy comes on in gallant show. Gallant show, splendid appearance. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out. Their bloody sign of battle as in the red flag. In those days, Romans used red flag as a signal for battle. So their red flag is hung out and something to be done. Something must be done immediately. Antony, Octavius, lead your battle softly upon the left hand of the even field. So immediately Antony is instructing Octavius, asking him to lead his battle, that is his troop, softly here means steadily on the left hand side of the battlefield. So Octavius he feels offended because right hand side will be the powerful side and left hand side will be less powerful. Okay, so it was considered like more honorable to lead from the right hand side. So Antony is asking Octavius to lead from the left hand side so that Antony can lead from the right hand side. So Octavius is telling, upon the right hand, I, keep thou the left. I will be on the right hand and you can keep the left. Antony, why do you cross me in this exigent? Why are you, opposing me in this exigent? In this crucial time, why are you even opposing me? So Octavius says, I do not cross you, but I will do so. I am not crossing you, but maybe I'll do so. I am not opposing you, but I might do so. So march. Drum enter Brutus, Cassius and their army. So including Lucilius, Titinius and Messala. Brutus, they stand and would have parley. They are standing and they might want a discussion. Parley means discussion. Cassius, stand fast, Titinius. We must out and talk. Dear Titinius, stand firmly. Stand fast, stand firmly. We must move forward and talk. We must out and talk. We must move forward and talk. Octavius, Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle? So from this side, Octavius is asking, shall we give signal to start the battle? Shall we give sign of battle? Signal to battle. Antony, no, Caesar. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words. So Antony says, no, 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 Caesar. No, Octavius Caesar. We will answer if they attack, if they charge. If they attack, we will answer. Make forth. Advance. The generals would have some words. That means the generals would like to have a conversation. Let the generals have a conversation. Octavius to his officers, stir not until the signal. The generals step forward. So Octavius instructs his officers not to stir, not to, move until the signal is given. Not to start the battle until the signal is given. Brutus, words before blows. Is it so, countrymen? So Brutus is trying to, taunt his countrymen, obviously Antony and Octavius Caesar. He's asking, words before blows. So a discussion before a fight. Is that what you are trying to, do, my dear countrymen? Octavius, not that we love words better as you do. So he's retaliating. Octavius is retaliating. He's telling that, yes, not because we like words better than fighting as you do. So yes, we are planning to have a conversation, but not because we are better than fighting as you do. Brutus, good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius. So Brutus is not planning to stop. He is telling that good words are better than bad blows, Octavius. Strokes here means blows. Antony, in your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live, hail Caesar. So Antony is trying to poke Brutus by saying that in your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. So when you have this bad blows, Brutus, you basically give good words. He's actually talking about, Brutus stabbing Julius Caesar. Witness, as can be seen from the hole. Witness in the sense he's talking about as can be seen from the hole that you made in Caesar's heart while you were crying loudly, long live, hail Caesar, while he was, praising or talking good about Caesar or talking about long life for Caesar. He stabbed Caesar. So Antony reminded him of his act, his deed. Cassius, Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words they rob the Hybla bees and leave them honeyless. So Cassius is again pitching in. He's telling that I am not sure about the posture of your blows. Okay. That means he's telling that I don't know the nature of your attack. Okay, I don't know about it. The way you're going to attack, I don't know about it. But for your words, they rob the Hybla bees, and leave them honeyless. Hybla is actually a reference. Hybla is a mountain in Sicily known for its honey. It's an allusion. So what he meant is, now Antony can speak so sweetly that it appears as if he had taken away all the sweet honey from those bees, which are from Hybla. And here he is talking about the funeral oration. You remember the speech he gave? Antony. So Cassius is taunting him based on that speech. He's telling that it seems the way you speak, so you speak so sweetly that it seems you have taken away the honey of those Hybla bees and they leave them honeyless. They don't have any honey left with them. So Antony is not leaving him. Antony is telling, not stingless too. Why only honey? have taken their stings too, not honeyless, not only honeyless, but stingless also. Brutus. Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting. So Brutus pitches in and he says, oh, yes, and soundless too. So they both are claiming that Antony has stolen the honey, the sting, as well as the sound of Hybla bees. Oh, yes, and soundless too, for you have stolen their buzzing sound. See, buzzing, because Antony is speaking, right? So Brutus is saying that you have stolen their buzzing and very wisely threat before you sting. So before you sting, before you attack, it seems you are very wisely threatening us. Antony. Villains, you did not so when your wild daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes and fawned like hounds and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers! So Antony became so angry that he again started talking about the way they stabbed Caesar. You villains, you did not so when your wild daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You didn't do this. You didn't threaten us, you didn't threaten Caesar before you stabbed Caesar, before you hacked one another in the sides of Caesar, in the sense when before you stabbed Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen. So, what did you do? You showed your teeth like apes. You are actually showing your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and crouched. Fawned here means crouched. Crouched like hounds, and bowed like bondmen. Bondmen, slaves. You bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet. As if you're kissing Caesar's feet, you bowed in front of him like a slave. While that damned Casca, what did he do? But the damned Casca, like a cur. Cur here means dog. From behind, what he did, he struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers. Oh, you flatterers. This is what you did. Cassius, flatterers? Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today if Cassius might have ruled. Now Cassius is talking to Brutus. See, now flatterers, see, look at the way he's calling us flatterers. Now Brutus, you should thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today. This tongue wouldn't have offended us today if you had listened to Cassius that day. If Cassius might have ruled, that means if you had listened to the advice given by Cassius, that is to kill Antony that day, you wouldn't have had to listen to this word or this speech given by Antony. Octavius, come the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. And he draws. Then think you that the sword goes up again? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors. So Octavius feels offended and he says, come the cause. When he listens to Cassius telling that you should have killed, Antony, Octavius is agitated and he says, come. He challenges them. Come the cause. If arguing make us sweat, if arguing is making you sweat, making us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Then the practical test of it will actually turn into redder drops, in the sense there will be bloodshed. Now look, I draw a sword against conspirators. Now see, I have drawn my sword against the conspirators, which has actually come out of the sheath. Now, when think you that the sword goes up again? When do you think it is sheathed, or it is kept inside the sheath again? Until Caesar's 33 wounds, that is 33 wounds, be well avenged. Till I avenge that 33 wounds of Caesar, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors. So either you have to kill me, or I will avenge the 33 wounds that you have caused on Caesar. Either I will kill you or you will kill me. As simple as that. Only then the sword will go inside the sheath. Brutus, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless thou bringest them with thee. So Brutus is not, accepting that word traitor. He's telling that you will not, Caesar, Octavius Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors. You will not die in the hands of traitors until you have brought one along with you. That means we are not traitors. Maybe you have traitors within you, within your troop. If they kill only, then you will be killed by a traitor. Octavius, so I hope I was not born to die on Brutus's sword. Even I hope so. I don't believe that I was born to die on Brutus's sword. Brutus, oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable. I don't know what he thinks of himself, Brutus. He's telling that if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, that means if you were the noblest of your strain, your family, then so though you wouldn't have got an honorable no honorable death than with the sword of Caesar. I'm sorry, Brutus. So Brutus is telling Caesar, if you were the noblest of your family, you wouldn't have got more honorable death than from this Brutus's sword. He's actually, telling that Brutus, if you die with my sword, it will be an honorable death. Cassius, a peevish schoolboy worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler. So Cassius is telling a childish schoolboy. Peevish here means a childish schoolboy. He's worthless of such honor. So he's talking about Octavius Caesar. He's telling that you're such a peevish, childish schoolboy. You don't deserve that honor to be killed by Brutus. And you have joined with a masker and a reveler. He's talking about Antony and Lepidus, the triumvirate, second triumvirate. Antony, old Cassius still. So Antony, he's telling that you are still the same. Old Cassius, you are still the same. Octavius, come Antony away. So Octavius is, calling Antony, come Antony away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs. So he's telling that we defy whatever you are telling, we defy you and challenge you, you traitors. You better come to the field and fight with us. If you're not ready, when you have appetite for fighting, you come. That is when you have stomachs. Stomachs here means when you have appetite to fight, then you come. And exit Octavius, Antony, and their army. By telling this, Octavius, Antony, and their troop, they leave the scene. Cassius, why now blow wind, swell below, and swim back? The storm is up, and all is on the hazard. So Cassius is telling that, may the waves rise, let the ship sail. Whatever happens, we have to fight. We must fight now. All is on the hazard. Everything is at risk. So Brutus calls Lucilius. Ho, Lucilius, hark a word with you. Lucilius and Messala stand forth. So Lucilius and Messala were standing together. Brutus calls Lucilia to have word with him. Lucilius, my lord. Brutus and Lucilius step aside together. So since Brutus asked Lucilius to step aside and talk, they move aside, step aside. Now only Cassius and Messala are standing there. Now Cassius calls Messala. Messala, what says my general? Cassius, Messala, this is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness that against my will am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know what You know that I held Epicurus strong and his opinion. Now I change my mind and partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, two mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. Who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly over our heads and downward. Look on us as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost. So now, as you can see in this dialogue, we can feel that Cassius is scared. He's talking to Messala. He says that today is his birthday. It is his birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. He's requesting, give Messala's hand. Give me your hand, Messala. And he says that Messala shall bear testimony to the fact that, like Pompey, he was also compelled to risk the liberties or risk the freedom of all of them. And also because of what? Because of one battle, result of one battle. He further says that Messala is aware that Cassius has always believed in the doctrines of Epicurus. Okay, but now it seems he has changed his mind. So, who's Epicurus? Epicurus is basically a Greek philosopher who held that omens were not to be trusted. He believed that omens were not to be trusted because they were superstitious. So, Epicurus never believed in superstitions. And here, Cassius is telling that even I used to follow the doctrine of Epicurus, and I strongly used to follow that. But now, I change my mind. Now, it seems he has changed his mind. So now I partially believe in things that foretell the future. So now I've not completely changed, but I partly believe in those things that talk about future. Coming from Sardis, so why now he's telling the reason why he feels or he started believing in omens partially. So while they were coming from Sardis, on their former ensign, that is on their flag, former ensign flag, two mighty eagles fell. Two mighty eagles, sat on the flag. They perched. There they perched. Perched means sat. Perched. Sat. Gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. So they were gorging, basically swallowing food, eating from the hands of the soldiers. Who to Philippi here consorted? Who, those eagles, they accompanied them till Philippi. Who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone. But this morning, what happened? They are fled away. They have gone. They flew away. They have left them. And in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly over our heads and downward look on us as we were sickly prey. And they have gone. Instead of them now, who all are there? Ravens. Ravens means those black crows. Ravens, crows, and kites. So basically they are scavengers, right? They eat on dead bodies, dead organisms. So he's telling that instead of those eagles, now we have ravens, crows, and kites. And it seems they are flying over the heads of these people. And they're looking downward on them as if they are sickly prey. They are likely to die. Sickly here means those prey who are likely to die now. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies. And it seems they have formed like a canopy. And, their shadows overhead, their shadows are actually forming like a fatal canopy under which their army lies, ready to give up its life. So this is why he felt that something, those he had a premonition that something bad is going to happen. Okay, this is what Cassius is telling Messala. Messala is like, believe not so. Don't believe all those things. Don't think about all those things. Cassius, but I believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. So he's telling, no, I am not completely believing this. I believe it partially. I partially believe it, only partially. I am still strong in courage and I'm ready to meet all dangers, that too courageously. All perils, all dangers. I'm ready to face all dangers courageously. Brutus, even so, Lucilius, Brutus returns to Cassius. Cassius, now most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, and then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you then determined to do? So now Cassius is talking to Brutus. He's asking, now, most noble Brutus, may the gods be friendly with us today, so that we who love peace can live to our old age. But since the affairs of men are always uncertain, let's think about the worst thing that might happen. So, if we lose this battle, then will this be the last time we speak to each other? Then he asks what he intends to do. That is, Cassius is asking Brutus, what do you plan to do if we lose? Brutus, even by the rule of that philosophy by which I did blame Cato for the death, which he did give himself. I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall, so to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below. So Brutus says, by the same Stoic philosophy, that philosophy of Stoicism, that made me condemn Cato for committing suicide. So Cato is basically Porcia's father, and he was part of Pompey's army. So when Caesar defeated Pompey, Cato fought against Caesar, and he killed himself for being, to avoid being captured by Caesar. So he used to follow the principle of Stoicism, it seems. And Stoicism is basically, it teaches men that they should bear all suffering with patience and courage. And according to Stoicism, suicide is a cowardly act. So Brutus is referring to that particular philosophy. So he says that I will be patient and I'll wait to see the outcome that the gods, have stored for us. He further says that he doesn't know why, but he finds it cowardly and vile, to cut off your life or maybe to commit suicide in order to prevent possible sufferings that might happen in future. So in order to prevent that possible suffering, he doesn't believe in committing suicide. So that's what Brutus says. Then Cassius then asks him, Cassius, then if we lose this battle, you're contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome? So Cassius immediately asks him, so if you do you mean that if you lose this battle, you would be willing to led in chains by those who defeated you? So those who are defeated will be actually chained and taken along in a procession on the streets of Rome. So that is the practice that Romans, had. So Cassius is asking Brutus, are you ready for that? So Brutus says, no, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind, but this same day must end that work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take, forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why we shall smile? If not, why then this parting was well made? So, Brutus says that no ways. He says no. He's not at all, you know, ready for that particular thing. That is, don't imagine, you noble Roman, that I will ever return to Rome in chains. He feels that he's too great for that. I am too great for that. But today, he says that, but today will be the end of the work that they began on the Ides of March. So he further says that he doesn't know whether he will, meet again. And he's ready to accept the everlasting farewell. He's actually, bidding farewell to Cassius. He says that forever and forever, farewell, Cassius. If we meet again, we will smile. If not, let's part well. This parting was well made. Cassius. Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, it is true this parting was well made. So Cassius also replies the same thing, says the same words. That is forever, forever, forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we, meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, it's true that this parting is well done, well made. Brutus, why then lead on? Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come ho away. Then he says that, okay, then lead on, then move on, go ahead. Oh, then he says that, oh, if only I could know the outcome of today's business before it happens, it would have been better. But it's okay. It's enough to know that the day will end and then the end will be known. So he's being a little philosophical here. He wishes to find the outcome of the day, but he accepts, or he's ready to wait for the day to end to know the outcome of the day. And they all exit. So here, Act 5, Scene 1 ends. So now we have Scene 2. This is supposed to be the shortest scene in this play. So in Scene 2, what we can see is Brutus is giving, order to Cassius, instructions to Cassius, asking him to start the battle. He feels that Octavius' army, they are timid and lack fighting spirit, and if they attack them suddenly, they will be able to defeat them. So that is why he's giving instructions to Messala to inform Cassius about the same. So let's see. This scene is taking place in Philippi, the battlefield. Alarum enter Brutus and Messala. Brutus, ride, Messala, ride and give these bills unto the legions on the other side. So he's asking Messala to give the bills, that is written orders, unto the legions on the other side, to the legions or the wing of army that is led by Cassius, who are there on the other side. And he hands Messala some papers. So loud alarm can be heard. Let them set on at once, for I perceive but cold demeanor in Octavius's wing, and sudden push gives them the overthrow. Ride, Messala, let them all come down. So Brutus further says that I perceive a cold demeanor. Demeanor here means a half-hearted effort. I can foresee a cold demeanor. Demeanor here means a half-hearted effort. And Octavius's wing, that is on the part of Octavius's forces. And sudden push. If we attack suddenly, if we attack suddenly, we will be able to defeat them, overthrow them, defeat them. So he's asking Messala to ride fast and let them all come down. Let them start fighting. Let them attack Octavius's army immediately. So with this, we finish Act 5, Scene 1 and 2. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, any further doubts, you can message me in the chat box. You can type in the chat box or you can put it in the comment section. So I will be back with another video soon. Thank you.